It's the final weekend for MotoGP. It's back to Spain and Valencia for the Valencian Grand Prix. It has been one of the best, but it all comes down to this as well. Because in the Riders' Championship, Pepe Bagnaia is on 258 points. 23 points back is Fabio Quartararo. 2 points would clinch it for Bagnaia, but as we've seen here many a time in the past, it is easier said than done. Strap yourself in for the Valencia Grand Prix title decider. The green light is on and the third practice session is underway here in Valencia for the Valencian Grand Prix. This then is the final part of practice that will determine the top 10 who automatically qualify into qualifying number 2. The 14 other riders must then face qualifying number 1. And at the moment, this is how they stand. Automatically going through as of the results of free practice 2 with the combined times: Luca Marini, Jorge Martin, Jack Miller, Marc Marquez, Enea Bassini, Miguel Oliveira, Johan Zarco, Fabio Quartararo, Pepe Bagnaia and Brad Binder. Everybody else having to go through the other parts of qualifying. Good morning to BT Sport.
And even though we're going to get good conditions, looks like it's going to be sunny as well tomorrow, this man, Pecco, could make a mistake at any moment, but also he can't ride too conservative because it is so bunched up. Yesterday we saw...
And I'm sorry, we've got a bike on fire. We've got a massive accident down at the track, the yellows and the third sector. That is a huge accident for Marco Bezzecchi. He is okay, but the bike has been ripped apart. It's burning away at the side of the track. This will have to be a red flag at the moment. We've got a yellow out there at the moment. Not sure we've got a red out, but Marco Bezzecchi has crashed out. He is okay, but the bike is on fire. No, sir, and we've got a red flag. Yeah, there's the confirmation. We don't know what's happening with our graphics at the moment, but the red flag has come out. The session has been stopped. Session red flag due to Marco Bezzecchi incident turn 7. Marco Bezzecchi is okay, I'm delighted to tell you, but the red flag has come out with 43.04 left on the clock due to the fact that Bezzecchi's bike has caught fire. So just as we're throwing down to BT Sport to say good morning to them, a massive accident down at turn 7 for Marco Bezzecchi. We're going to see a replay of it now. So, he's dropped it mid-corner. The bike's bounced through the gravel trap very high in the air. Bezzecchi too's had a nasty roll around and looked a bit knocked out for a second, actually. It's a high-speed accident at the quick kink of turn 7, so it is a nasty one. He went down at turn 6. Bezzecchi was actually not moving for a little bit. He looked a bit knocked out there. Ragdolled effect as well. And the fuel line looks to have burst on the bike. It's just caught fire. Bezzecchi's walked away. That's a miracle, because that was a big one there. And the bike's been put out, but the red flags had to come out just for safety. So let's go over to BT Sport, but we've got a red flag at the moment here. 43.04 left on the clock.
Only 10 valves for Desmodici. So Bezzecchi, thankfully, is okay. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
The bike will be very second-hand. And
actually, seeing the damage that was done, I thought maybe it was the rear coming around, you know, high-siding you over the top, but it was actually just the cold tyre as you lean through the kink. Can't catch you out so easy here. We've talked about it all day yesterday, usually worrying about the right side into turn 4, but you still need to, especially it's quite chilly in the air, even though the breeze has calmed down a bit this morning, but you can see the front straight's completely under shade, so it's quite cold if you're this side of the pit garages. You head out there and it just feels, as you talked about yesterday, Silvan, not getting the abrasion from the tarmac, so you don't feel like you've got too much traction for the first couple of laps. And obviously Marco just proven how little's there when the tyre isn't fully up to temperature.
Yeah, and that's how treacherous that track can be.
Nice to hear from them. Session will restart at 10 o'clock local time. That is in the next 45 seconds, but the red flags come out then. It's very unusual to see a red flag in a practice session for MotoGP. It's very rare to see a red flag at all. We haven't had one in a race this year, to my knowledge, that's required a restart. But obviously, bikes on fire in the middle of the track and riders not really moving that much does require a red flag. Just open up my coffee. I didn't shake it before I opened it. Pit lane opens then in 10 seconds time to go back to the green flag. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Red flag removed, green flag has gone out. And let's have a word with BT about this crash.
At all times, because on a crash like this, you could get hurt very easily. He was very lucky not to get hurt actually there. That's a massive crash that.
It took a little bit of a moment actually for him there. I just wonder if he just.
Yeah, but it's fifth gear there in that King, fifth gear flat out when you take the brake. So that's very high speed.
The red flag has been withdrawn and we're go again. It was just a case of getting the fire out, getting the bike removed. Oh, there's Alvaro Bautista.
Legend at the moment, Alvaro Bautista, in the World Superbike Championship. He's been dominating over there. So good to see him again at the back. Bautista was a former Ducati man as well, actually, in the past. He's alongside Gigi Dall'Igna as they come back out onto the circuit then. So nobody got a chance to set a quicker time before the red flag came out, which I suppose is actually good news. But track conditions are good. Ground temperature 36 degrees, that's the track. Air temperature 17 degrees, 39% humidity, a few clouds around, but other than that, it's bright blue sunshine as well. As Marc Marquez gets in between the two factory Yamahas of Quartararo and Morbidelli while they go out on their runs here. Run 2, but of course no one got a run 1 due to the conditions of the red flag that came out. Morning, Synthel. How did the test go yesterday? Hope it went okay. As they come through. The commentary box is so cold this morning, actually, as well. It set my nose off, so I apologise if I'm sniffing a bit more. It's one of those things that everyone's woken up with a cold a couple of days ago. But today is Saturday, the 5th of November. It's a big day here in the UK where we have bonfire night. Basically, we remember Guy Fawkes, who tried to blow up Parliament in the 1600s. I'm not saying anything as I come through, but yeah, it's a weird tradition, but it means we get to have fireworks, I suppose. I know in America it's 4th of July, but I'm not actually sure where else in the world if you have a specific firework night. Let me know in the comments below where you are in the world and if you have a specific fireworks night, or is it just New Year or something like that as well. Because I know in America there's Independence Day on July 4th, and then here in the UK it's 5th of November. So remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason and plots. I see no reason why gunpowder, treason should never be forgot. There you go, that's the rhyme that they came up with. But let me know, I'm interested actually in the comments. Synthel says, I have to put my glasses on now. Hey, test could have been better. I was a bit sick, so I couldn't focus, but there were a lot of multiple choice questions, so fingers crossed. Go to the test Monday for physics. Which is going to be very difficult. Physics is difficult, yeah. At least multiple choice sounds like you've got a good idea of what to do. So, all's fair at the moment. Might be quite good. As yellow flag sector 2 now. So who else has gone off? And where? Let's have a look. Second sector. Anyone stopped on the board? Yes. No. It could be Darren Binder, actually. It is Darren Binder. Yeah, I was just looking at the timing tower, and he stopped in the middle sector. He's crashed as well. Is that at turn 7 as well? Is there something down there? It's just a yellow at the moment. We're not seeing anything on the monitors. As we ride with Pepo Bagnaia. Just riding the curb, so nice. Coming to the last corner now. Turn 14. Loop it back round, get on the power on the acceleration. Lap time cancelled for the 33 due to track limits. That's Kyle Crutchlow. Yellow flag's out for a while, actually, as Bezzecchi's got back to the pit lane, actually, so his transponder in his race suit's got back to the pits. He'll go out on the second bike. Yellow flag retrieved. And here's a replay of what happened in the onboard camera. Oh, he's just turned in at turn 9, and the front's just dropped away from him as well, actually, so nothing he could have done there. It's one of those small drop-aways we have. And well, this is something we never saw on the onboard. Bagnaia is carrying around Jorge Martin. He's carrying around Binder as well. He's got a whole train of followers just behind him as well. It's getting absolutely madness out there already. Synthel. Yes, we used to have fireworks on the Friday of the fair. don't know if that's correct English. It means it's Kermis in Dutch. Then the city will be turned into a roller coaster park for a week, which is extremely fun. Wow. I want to do that. Roller Coaster City. Wow. I've never heard of that. Keep them coming. Let me know. We're doing a thing in the comments as well. It's bonfire night here in the UK. And I want to know, wherever you are around the world, what do you use fireworks for? Do you have your own fireworks night, or do you only have fireworks at New Year? Or do you have fireworks at New Year? Let me know in the comments. I'm really interested to know that. Do a little bit of an experiment to find out. And then we always record them anyway, so we'll get some stitched for qualifying show tomorrow. Oh no, hang on a minute, qualifying's later. The race, I think it's Friday. It's really weird. It's Saturday, gotta remember that. We'll get some edited for the race show tomorrow to show you some fireworks, if they all turn out okay. Obviously not the rockets, because we can't see the rockets, can we, where the cameras are stationary. Anyway, no one's improving at the moment. Correction, people are improving out there. Let's take a look at the times. Now, if you look at the if you look at the lap chart here, if I can see on my monitor, although I think I might have removed we have actually removed the graphic now. So it's the best lap. So everybody has improved in this second session. And this is now the current top 10 as well. And this is current. We need to go to combined times. Right, here's the combined times now. Hang on a second. Are the current and combined times exactly the same? No, they're not. This is the current session that shows Brad Binder on top from Quartararo second, Marquez third, Zarco fourth, Miller fifth. That's the current session, because the track's doing a 1:31.382. Fast lap this time is a 1:30.217. So in the combined times, nobody has actually improved on yesterday. So that's very interesting to see. And we'll go back up here then to the current. And Sintel has actually said, well, the Dutch government is stupid, so fireworks aren't allowed anymore, not even on New Year's Day, except the really small, useless things like those pathetic sparklers. Yes. Yellow sectors 3 and 4, so someone's gone down the last couple of corners, turns 9, 10 and 11 to trigger a yellow in 2 sectors. It's Raul Fernandez. Oh, that's a big one. Raul Fernandez has hit the fence. I think he's walking away, actually. Yes, he is. Oh, he is walking away. It's turn 10. He's gone down, so quite a quick one. The bikes have been a bit destroyed. Half the fairings are on the side of the track as well, so that's a bit of a biggie. He looks to be okay. He was walking away, so no need to be stretchered. But yellow flag out, then sections 3 and 4. This is the problem with Valencia. It's a type of track that if you crash at, you really do suffer. It hurts. It's that type of track. It bites you. There's Thomas Manbutt as well, who's watching on 87 beats per minute. I wonder what that'll go to during the race later on, tomorrow. Cynthia says, and that's basically causing people to buy those illegal fireworks. It isn't stopping people, it's causing some praise. Oh, lap time cancelled for the 21 as well of Franco Morbidelli due to exceeding track limits at turn at, well, I presume that's turn 10 then, if they made a mistake there. Davide Tordozzi's at 90 beats per minute. Thomas Manbutt is at 91 beats per minute as well. Yellow only in the third sector now. Yellow completely gone. Let's take an afternoon again to BT Sport for a second.
There we go.
Just a bit of deep breathing, a moment of meditation. That's fun. That's fun to watch.
Jorge Martin slipping up the inside of Pecco into the final corner. Or was it Zarco? It was Zarco, sorry. But yeah, just a bit of a trial run. It's not easy to slide a MotoGP bike up the inside and pull it down to the apex and get the drive off the final turn. But obviously you need to practice around here because it's so difficult to make an overtake.
Well, he's finally doing it. He got a lot of grief for not doing it in Mandalika. So he's got second chance there. Oh, everybody running wide at turn 2.
Yeah, I saw on the outside one of the KTMs was sat up there, and Bagnaia deciding to run out there too. Zach Marco Bezzecchi looks like he's back on track. Concerned faces down there at Ducati, but Bagnaia is just not taking any risks in that situation. Saw someone on the outside of the track. I think more than anything, just deciding to bail out rather than force anything to fit. No, it was Bezzecchi, wasn't it, who was on the outside of the racetrack?
Yeah, and then Brad Binder was fully committed and ended up down the inside of Pecco, but yeah, that's always a tricky one.
You can tell about the tension in the Ducati box as well already. Imagine tomorrow during the race. I mean, the heart rate is going to be through the roof. Ooh, what's up?
There's a little twitch.
Yeah, a little twitch there. The thing is as well, as soon as you slow down a little bit, the temperature, which is already hard to get into the tires, temperature drops, pressure drops in the tires, and you have to rebuild that. And it's on this track this morning the air is actually sunny and there's a lot less wind, but the air is quite fresh, so tires will be cooling down very quickly.
It's getting a little bit testy in there. Frankie Morbidelli was waving his hands, I think, at Remy Gardner and at Bezzecchi. I think Bezzecchi more than anything.
Fabio waves at them first, so I think it's Bezzecchi is quite tentative on his opening laps here, which he would be after getting caught out with a cold front tyre. And yeah, obviously upsets Fabio, but then also upsets Morbidelli again a corner later.
And then when Morbidelli's getting frustrated, he's actually getting in the way then of Remy Gardner. It was Morbidelli's obviously had a penalty for that the last round. In fact, he got 2 penalties, didn't he? What did you think, actually? Because Morbidelli looked on it. What do you think about the 3-second penalty given to him?
Well, yeah, Morbidelli.
On Aleix Espargaro on the last lap.
I absolutely disagree with that.
Yeah, completely.
I mean, the penalty is the double long lap penalty he got for cruising on the line. This for sure, he should not have done that, and I don't know what he was thinking. So you're going to wait first of Fabio Quartararo, then of Pecco Bagnaia in a fast lap at the end of FP3. You just can't do that. You have to be aware of who's around you, and you cannot cruise on the racing line with a few minutes to go in the session. So that rightly so, but during the race, I thought his move was just last lap attack. There is a door open. He puts his front wheel there. Aleix knows he's there and leans on him. Well, that's fighting. You can't penalise riders for having a go in a last lap and making even if there's a little bit of contact. There was no crashes, so for me that was wrong.
Yeah, but even also I felt it was wrong for Aleix to make out that Morbidelli done something really wrong, like rode into the side of me. What was he thinking? I'm like, well, it was a last corner move. He made an overtake. It was harsh. It was hard, sorry, not even harsh, but fairly fair in my books. And yeah, completely disagree with the penalty for the move Morbidelli pulled on the final lap.
I completely agree as well. As we come back up to the commentary box as well, it was a good move from Morbidelli after a bad weekend. As Quartararo has a big twitch on the rear of the bike as well coming into turn number 1, so had to get that a bit out of shape, and it's actually run wide at the first corner. Can't be doing that in the Grand Prix, and he's going to be noting down where exactly that braking point was, so he doesn't do that in qualifying even later on as well. Free practice 4 coming up live as well as qualifying in the race. Going to be a lot of fun this year as we sign out this season with a live weekend as they continue pushing as well. Marquez on the bat, looking good. Marini top, 132.17 in the combined times, but in the current session that you've got open right now on your control deck, it's Johann Zarco, 139.08. Marquez second. Oh, we've got a crasher. Enea Bastianini has crashed out, presumably at turn 9 and 10, because that's the yellow flag out again. It is 9 and 10, exactly the same part as earlier on with Fernandez. Coming into turn 10, front dropped away from him, bike just skids off into the gravel. And he knows the bike's gone immediately, so may as well just pick it up and let it go. Synthel says as well, I think it started maybe because of Corona, but they're saying it's too dangerous. I mean, fireworks are fun. I mean, yes, we've got to be careful with pets, and we've got to make sure that pets are okay. I love at the moment, by the way, if you're in the UK and you're celebrating firework night tonight as well, Classic FM are playing some soothing sounds for your pets as well we're with fireworks tonight. So that's a great idea if you want to keep them calm. But I'm not just speaking personally here. My uncle had a dog, and she actually enjoyed fireworks as well. So that's something a bit different as well. Yellow flag's been removed as well. Someone else has gone down. You can hear the side of your ears. That's what we hear when someone crashes. So there's a yellow flag. That's another Red Bull KTM. Is that Brad Binder? It is, yeah. Brad Binder's crashed down at turn 4. So I think the front's just dipped away for him as well. We're going to see now. Turn 4. Is the front going to dip away? Yeah, because there's no temperature in it. This is what we've been talking about. the last for 6 corners on this track, so turns 12, 13, 14, turns 1, 2 and 3, they're all left-handers. So by the time you actually go to turn 4, which is the first right-hander for around about 30, 45 seconds, the front one's got no temperature, so he turned in, he just drifted. Marc Marquez did that a couple of years ago and actually dislocated his shoulder again. He had to jump and put it back in place at the barrier. It's a horrible thing. Yellow flag being removed. BT.
This time in between them, so you can't actually get the temperature in and very little feel, and the result is many crashes. We see that it's very hard for the riders to feel what is actually going on with the front end, to feel that grip, and this is why they're making big mistakes. They're making mistakes. They're getting surprised. They crash in places where they normally don't think they can lose it, like Bezzecchi did straight away. It's just very hard to work temperature into the bikes.
Well, that there is saying it's basically 20 degrees at turn 2 effectively, and 15 down towards turn 1. He said 36 before the start of the session, which completely shocked me anyway, completely threw me. It's been 36
all day yesterday.
First practice yesterday. I think the graphic is wrong. I've got a feeling that because it was 36 all yesterday. So it's cold out there. The surface is cold.
It's definitely cold.
It always is when the air's cold. It's because the sun doesn't usually come up. But anyway.
Yeah, I think there's a faulty sensor somewhere in the mix.
Absolutely. Because as we saw there,
well, they put the sensor near the tyre warmers. Something's going on there.
Someone's got it. I mean, someone's got it under their armpit or something, because that's 36 degrees. I'm watching Fabio Quartararo.
But you see the shade here just in the braking zone, so you're there for sure. It's down in the 20s, the track temperature, maybe even lower. Then here, where it's getting a bit of sunlight, it will be up a little bit hotter, so that's why they always have about 3 or 4 sensors around the racetrack and take an average.
Oh, drop into another collision, this time with a cameraman.
And there's a yellow flag out in the second sector. So who's gone down to bring out a yellow sector 2? It is one of the oh no, it's Takiki Nakagami. Nakagami's crashed down at turn 4, I believe. Yep, and is that barrier damage? No, it looks to be okay. Let's see how he did it through 3. Same thing, turn in number 4. Yep, turn in number 4, and away goes the front. That's 2 in 4 minutes. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is the type of thing I'm saying, that it's so annoying and strange to have that front buckle away from you at such a dizzy moment as well.
After his incident in Aragon when he ran into the back of Marc Marquez's bike, just like Quartararo had done before him. Yeah, got to be very, very careful out there. Either trying that softer front tyre, softer rear tyre for Alex Marquez at the moment. Marc Marquez too, just left pit lane on that combination. No risks at this stage.
No, nobody with a hard front as well. We saw a lot of hard fronts going on the bikes. You see there, Fabio pulling a little bit of a stop here, but this is mainly to warm his carbon brakes before he comes out. Yesterday in the FP2 we saw a lot of hard fronts, and it looked like this is going to be the race tyre. But this morning, because the track is so cold, everybody's running the soft or the medium. So yeah, the riders being cautious, they have to. They just can't feel it. And we hope that the track is going to come on before the end of this session, because 25 minutes left, they are going to have a go, and it's going to be absolute carnage at the end of that session if the grip doesn't come up and if the temperature doesn't come up to standards.
Absolutely, and the last 5 minutes of this session, by the way, if you're new here, the last 5 minutes are going to be absolutely epic, because everyone goes out, everyone gets a lap time in, and they trip over each other. And here at Valencia as well, it's such a difficult track to get right. Okay, let's have a look at what Sintel's been saying as well, as he's been in the chat room. Where did we get last up to? Here we go. So they're ruining more holidays as well. We have this thing called Skinter Lass, which is the original Santa Claus, by the way. But we have another Santa Claus as well. But this could sound weird for you. Got another one down as well to the brilliant Maverick Vinales in the second sector. And is that at turn 4 as well? It is. So 4 crashes in 5 minutes down at turn 4. Front buckles away from him as well. And that's such... Oh, actually, yeah, this is at turn 4. Again, this is getting a bit silly now. I'm surprised the tyres have never been managed with it as well, actually. But it just buckles away. It's got no temperature. Track temperature 36 degrees in that part of the track, but it's got no temperature because the wind is so strong here. Right, back to Sid's comment as well. Skin to Lass has something called Black Pete, which are basically like Santa's helpers. Oh, I see, like reindeers or elves. Where are they? Which have never been a problem, but I don't know. Everyone says it's racist. Well, it's just a child thing. We've seen videos of kids crying because on the other side they were protesting. It's just a tradition. It was never meant racist, and now it's kind of reversed because people are hating it so much that they will fully protest and even see one Black Pete. So no Black Pete's allowed anymore, only white. In that reverse racism as well. But by the way, the reason they were black is because they had to go to the chimney. That's the only reason. The chimneys made them dirty. Anyways, that's what it was for the 1,000 Word Essay. Very interesting. I'm loving finding out all these holiday traditions. Keep them coming. I'm very interested. Surely the compromise would be have them both. That would be the compromise, wouldn't it? Anyway. My personal favourite as well from Elves is in the movie with Tim Allen, the Santa Claus as well. It has such a magical Christmas feeling as well because the elves, yes, they were young children, but it had the feeling that they were elves at Christmas. It was fantastic. Yellow flag's been retrieved in now, by the way, as Bagnaia crosses the line, doesn't improve, stays P9. Track's not improving at all, so we're not going to see combined times change until the last 5 minutes of this session. Bagnaia having a twitch into turn 3 as well as he turns for the 5th time into the left. Last time now left before going back to the right. Does he drop the front? No, because we don't see it because it's Valentino Rossi on a bicycle actually watching around the track. Coming in and just taking a quick look. It's very cold in this commentary box as well, and I came straight from getting out the bath, so my hair's still a bit damp and my nose is being set off, so I apologise by the way. This is usually where Megan would help out, but practice sessions at the moment are a bit solo as they come through. But BT Sport are helping out a lot. Let's go back to BT.
I mean, it'd be great to see him in Superbikes, and he's a great catch for Yamaha. But I can't help but thinking, the lad is world champion last year in Moto2. He can't. Surely he deserved better than that. He deserved a bit more time, and he actually hasn't done a bad season. He's done all right this year. He's obviously not, on the best bike, not on the most friendliest bike, and he's done a decent job. So it's a shame to see him go so early because Remy's got loads of talents, and we've not seen half of it. So I'm really disappointed with that. But like I said, he's a great game for the Superbike series. It'll be exciting to watch next year, and I think his riding style actually is going to suit the Superbikes quite well.
Yeah, I hope it works out for him. We all do. Because we all feel like it's just not right, the treatment that he's had, turfed out after 1 year as a rookie on a bike which hasn't worked from anyone, let's face it. Miguel Oliveira's had the 2 wins on it, but yeah. Brad Binder, I will say, 6th in the championship on 168 points. Well, that probably wouldn't have happened in the past. He's just very consistent. Here's Nakagami just getting a clean down. Dakota Momola there, helping out. Another turn 4 crash, and again, it's as soon as you roll onto that early one.
So
Brad Binder, Darren Binder was the same.
It's when you go from so these front tires are all asymmetric, and when you go from that harder rubber on the left side and the center of the tire onto the softer rubber, that transition there is where the loss of grip happens, and this is what happens there for Brad Binder as well. So it's very, very easy to happen, and you get absolutely no warning for this, and there's no way you can save that. If you need any spare parts, just go for a little walk in
turn
4 in the gravel. There'll be plenty there.
Look at that. Bikes have gone down already in this session. Bastianini's Ducati on there too. So the 20 minutes to go, and it's not quite been the session yet that we were expecting this morning, and that's been down to all those crashes, down to the cold weather. But I still feel people are going to have to put a lap.
They're going to have to.
They're going to have to.
They're going to have to.
They're going to take risks.
Yeah, they'll have to. I think it's going to be touch and go with making those tire work. They just don't want to work with these cold temperatures. They are very, very hard to activate when it's like that, because of the low abrasion, because of that lower temperature and that fresh air that constantly cools them down. So it's not an easy job there, and we've got the best riders on the planet at it. They're trying to do it, and they can't get any feel from it. So yeah, hopefully they can get a bit more. I mean, Pecco there, he's 1.3 off at the second intermediate. He's just not feeling it.
18 minutes and 30 seconds to go then in this the second day of testing, but it's free practice number 3. There's your current session. Let's take a look at the combined times now to see if anybody has moved around. No is the answer. The only person to improve on their times in this session is Remy Gardner. He's done a 1:31.618 and beats his previous best on lap 8 of 13. Nobody else has improved out there at the moment. So until the last 5 minutes, we may as well stay with the current session so that you've got more informed choices, to put it that way, on what you're looking at, and know the true pecking order as well. This, of course, isn't the only decider this weekend. Moto2 will have its championship decided. Aigura was in the lead of that, but then dropped out again. So Augusto Fernandez looks like he's going to take the title quite easily. The same as what it looks like for Pepe Bagnaia as well. So Sunday is going to be very interesting. I love how MotoGP's social media is hyping this up a lot. I've just seen as well, he's here. Valentino Rossi, a pleasure to have him here at the hashtag The Decider. I was like, really? You're using Valentino Rossi still as sort of clout to get yourself on with people in the paddock? No. This season and this comeback that we've seen from Pepe Bagnaia speaks for itself. We don't need to use Rossi as a way to bring him in. Bagnaia does it for himself. I mean, Agostini was here for ages, and he never gets used as well. We've seen several ex-riders here, and they never get used for anything else. So it's really bizarre. Really, really bizarre. My chat disconnected then is now reconnected as well. Replay. We've got something coming up here then. This is Marc Marquez at turn 4. Now, this is where he crashed a couple of years ago. As he had a front moment. Let's have a look. Front going to dip away. No, elbow down for Marc Marquez, though, who's got a really good opportunity here, I think, to win a Grand Prix. Cynthia says, I don't often watch MotoGP. It's disappeared. My YouTube studio crashed on me, so it's just having to come back to me now. Here it is. I don't often watch MotoGP, but I'm a fan of Bagnaia because of that comeback. Absolutely. Absolutely agree with you. That comeback alone was absolutely fantastic from Bagnaia. Really pushing hard. He came from 96 points down to be 23 points ahead. That proves that he's got the talent that everybody said he never did. Myself included, actually, when he was crashing so much earlier in the year. Marc Marquez goes to fourth, 1:31.197. Miller is actually on an improvement lap time, so I wonder if this is the first run then for Jack Attack, where we could see him improve. Now, the top time here, 1:30.657. That's set by you and me in this session. But the top time is a 1:32.17 set by Luca Marini in the combined time. So Miller's on a run here.
Great yesterday. Thought his pace looked good. His one-lap pace is there. I would not be ruling out Miller winning on Sunday.
Yeah, just felt he needed to tidy things up a little bit today, but I think looking at this lap, he's definitely on course to jump to the top of the timesheet. So you can see around the long turn 8 on the left side of the tyre, confidence to drift it around there, use a bit of wheel spin to generate a little bit of temperature, and yeah, it looks like he's got that about spot on.
Miller comes out the last corner then, fires it towards the line. He's going to go top with a 1:30.095, and that is the first meaningful change in the combined practice times we've seen. Let's open them up now on the monitor. So these are your combined times. Bagnaia's getting a setup change as well to get going again. So this is it. This is it. 15 minutes to go. It's going to turn more like into a qualifying session now as they continue to push hard and see who's going to be faster. Miller, 1:30.095. He's got top honours here so far. Quartararo now on the track trying to change it over as well. Is he going to try and push hard? Oh, that's Nakagami and Bastianini's bikes coming in as well. My chair was actually a bit down. I'm surprised I realised that. So their bikes have been recovered from turn 4. Ralph Fernandez's bike is still down there, we believe, so we'll have to check on that soon. 13 minutes 52 left of the session. Once again, pushing hard. Lap time counts up for the 42 due to exceeding track limits. That's Alex Rins, who's had problems. And one thing that's bugged me, all the colouring's changed this weekend on the sides of the drivers' names because, well, I'm having a look. Where's Suzuki? Rins' his name's double. On the timing monitor they've changed. The TV pictures haven't, but the timing monitors have, which I find really, really bizarre because they're getting ready for the test on Tuesday, which might be covering live actually. So that's going to be fun. Let's see. Signal says, but yeah, Santa Claus wouldn't have existed without the Dutch. Did the Dutch invent him? St. Nicholas? I believe so, actually, yeah. Think of all the children over the years who never had presents. St. Nicholas is actually a real person, of course, Santa Claus. Santa Claus is actually a real person. That's what I love about it as well. St. Nicholas as well. It's St. Nicholas, it's fantastic. So I love the history around him. Let's take a look then. SHT. Hello, SHT. Your predictions for the race winner this weekend, not the championship, but the winner of this race, Quartararo. Fabio Quartararo. Not the championship, just the race we're in. Because there is such a drive for Fabio Quartararo this weekend. The only way he can even be in contention to win the championship is by winning the race. No ifs, no buts. As he's just had a lap time cancel for exceeding track limits. But I reckon it would be 100% Quartararo's race victory. And I think Bagnaia will still take the title. Although anything can happen. They could both crash out and then Bagnaia is still the champion. So anything can happen in MotoGP. And it's the last race of the year. And it's not the last coverage of the year because we've got the post-season test as well. Which technically has to go in the 2023 folder. I know, confusing because it's actually pre-season testing. But post-season testing. Very bizarre. Very, very, very bizarre. We'll also be covering the Formula 1 post-season test as well in Abu Dhabi. Not in the usual way, but as in more of the way we did in Barcelona with TweetDeck Open as well, and just a quick sum-up of what's happened during the end of the day. The young driver test in Abu Dhabi, the post-season test, we'll be covering some of that as well. Sinful says, after my 1,000-word essay, I made a small essay of the origin of Santa Claus. You did? Which F1 team do you think will be worrying for next season? Red Bull. Red Bull will be worried. They've lost so much aero time, and Ferrari already had them. Ferrari just got to get one, reliability, and two, strategy now. They've got reliability, so it's just strategy they need to get better at. And I think Ferrari would be right behind Red Bull next year. And then everyone will say, oh, Max isn't winning, so it was all the car to begin with. Well, not to speak like Ted Kravitz, Max Verstappen is an amazing, amazing driver. And Adrian Newey is an amazing, amazing designer. And the two together, that's the thing. Like with Sebastian Vettel and Adrian Newey, the two complemented each other so well. Vettel could drive Newey's cars, so they worked together and they created the championship partnership. Look, ever since then, Ricciardo couldn't really drive the cars. Got a couple of wins, the same as Webber, but couldn't really get the hang of it. Neither could Kvyat or anything like that. Albon. But Max Verstappen is like Vettel. He can drive a Newey car, and they just fit together perfectly. So I think it's an amazing partnership. So when Ted says, oh, it's not just Verstappen, it's the car as well, he's right. It's Adrian Newey's car, and it's Max Verstappen. Do you think it's Lewis Hamilton and the car as well? No, it's not just Lewis Hamilton. It's because we've seen this year. It's the car as well. They've got to fit together. Big one there. And it's one of the Mooney VR46s who has gone down. And I can't tell who it is right now. Is it? It's not Michael Bezzecchi. So it is Michael Bezzecchi. Second time then. First crash was at turn 7 and the first bike caught fire and is a write-off. Second crash now at turn 6 as well with 10 minutes to go. So that's 2 crashes in this session alone for Marco Bezzecchi then. Down at turn 6. Not a nice situation to be in there. as they continue to push hard. So yeah, it's the two that fit together, and I love it. So yeah, it's the same with Gordon Murray when he used to design Formula One cars. The drivers who could adapt and drive with him had the better car, the better race strategy. So yeah, Alan Jones, for instance. Christian Horner, Adrian Newey, and Dr. Helmut Marko has been at Red Bull together for so long already now. Well, yeah, actually, Adrian Newey's actually been there the smallest amount of time, because I think Newey joined in 2006 Red Bull, not 2005. I think he was still at McLaren in 05. But yeah, Christian Horner, been there since the day dot, really, and I don't know, Red Bull always seem to annoy me a little bit, because every time they win championships, they bring their own controversy with them as well. It's their own doing as well, so it does worry me every now and then, but still. Well, not great for Bezzecchi, who has been strong these last few races. He really has, and front row, actually, a couple of races ago as well, it looked to be good. Right, a couple of minutes then, the yellow flag's been retrieved. Couple of minutes like we do in the practice sessions. Let's pass over to BT Sport, get a couple of insights on the races that commentating there. Then the final 5 minutes, we'll come back here and have a word with us as we see everyone attacking the lap times when it's 5 minutes to go. Gav.
Do you think that the downshift with those seamless gearbox is one of the best noise in the whole world?
It's incredible to hear, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just strange to hear it as well.
You can do it so fast as well. It's like so fast. I just absolutely love it.
And also the upshift when you're spinning around turn 8 and shifting, throwing a gear at it. It's just unreal. But whenever I stood trackside, I always thought Suzuki sounded the most seamless. It just sounded instantaneous.
It's one of the biggest difference, you know, from superbikes to MotoGP bikes. Whenever you try those bikes or you jump from one to another, okay, you got the extra power and you can feel that, the extra braking power as well with the carbon disc. But the biggest, for me, the biggest thing that stands out is the gearbox. Seamless gearboxes on those GP bikes are just so good. It's like butter. Look at this.
The big deep breath that he took there. He's just living on the edge.
Come on, David, breathe out. This is stressful. They know it. They know anything can happen at any time. They've seen the crashes. They see their chum there that's got a hand on the title, and he's currently sitting in P9 as well.
He's 9th.
He can't afford.
That's the thing, but he's miles off.
Yeah, but he's not feeling it.
So
what
if he goes through Q1? Davide Ternozzi, there'll be a litter of kittens behind him in that Ducati garage if that were to happen.
Yeah, for them, it's not as much as a disaster as for Fabio, for example, because they can still, go through Q1. They can still manage, the situation. He only has to score 2 points. They can even, if they want to, they could pull Ducatis out of the race if they need.
We're all looking at Silvan. Oh, I hope that. I hope
it doesn't happen. But imagine Pecco sitting in 15th position, Fabio in the lead, 2 laps to go, and there is 4 or 5 Ducatis in between the two. What?
The big red button.
The power down. We talked about it yesterday.
I mean, they'll have to do it. They will have to plan that kind of
They will.
Of race situation. They will have to.
How would that go down with the Ducatisti? How would it go down with the MotoGP fans around?
It would go down well with the fans, but so go down well in history.
Would it though? Would it be a tainted title? I think it would be.
No, I wouldn't.
I think PR job-wise, that would be one of the worst things that they could do as a brand. They are all about racing. They're all about that, that passion of racing and winning, and that's why they've tried as much as they can to stay away from the team order thing. I just think it would be. I think it would be a PR disaster, and I know that's. I think it'd be a sporting disaster. I think it'd be a PR disaster. I think it'd be just everything would be so wrong about it, and no one would ever forgive them.
100%. But
I'd sell my Ducati.
Would you?
Yeah, straight away.
I'll make you a bad offer, Gav.
And the good thing is there'll be loads of cheap Ducatis on eBay. So,
I might hold on to it for a bit.
But tonight, those contingency plans need to be put in place. If you're Davide Tardozzi, Paolo Giovanni, Claudio Domenicali's in the house today, they need to plan for it.
Maybe don't call it mapping 8.
Yes, the power down.
The riders might not understand that. That's, of course, reference back to Jorge Lorenzo. Similar position. to Quartararo, effectively. Got be 21 points behind. Lorenzo ahead of him on track and didn't do anything about it.
Alex Rins improving there, so if he carries on at that pace, he will get in front of Bagnaia.
And Mir.
Yeah, this is getting crucial now. So we'll come back onto the commentary box camera because this is the moment with 4 minutes to go of the session. If it wants to come back away from commentary box camera, what's going on with this thing? Here we go. Press button 3. This is it then, everybody. This is the final couple of minutes of the practice session that will count towards this Q2 running order. He's done it. Rins goes 5th, 1:33.88, and that puts Pepe Bagnaia into 10th position. Now that is crucial. Johan Mir is looking quick across the line. Mir goes, he stays 12th. He just holds on. So the second Suzuki can't get through. Bagnaia stays therefore in 10th position, and it's getting so tense. Now, to explain, if you're new here, the top 10 from the combined times of practice from the first 3 sessions automatically qualify for Q2. Anyone 11 down has to go through qualifying 1. In qualifying 1, the top 2 from that session get promoted to qualifying 2 to make it a top 12 shootout, and then positions 13 to 24 will then be designated 13 onwards. 13 onwards on the grid. So it's getting a bit tense as they come down into the braking zone. Binder goes 5th. Bagnaia is out of qualifying. Bagnaia at the moment is not automatically through. He's got 2 minutes 40 left and he's a 10th down at the moment. This is the big crunch point. Davide Tardozzi's heart rate is going up. Gigi Dall'Igna as well, looking on with a bit of pressure. Keeps on the accelerator, keeps on the power. Mir is 2/10 off. Bagnaia still there. He's setting grey sector times in sector 2 as he comes into turn 9 and 10. 2:13 left. And look at that. Who's just improved on the board? Who improved? Well, Marini has it in this session. It's Fabio Quartararo. Fabio Quartararo goes to 3rd. Johan Mir goes to 6th. Bagnaia's dropped down to 12th position. Zarco is looking quicker as well. 29 thousandths. Bagnaia is 2/10 down at the moment. Alex Marquez goes 16th. Here comes Johan Zarco, 11th at the moment across the line. Goes top! Wow! Brilliant time from the back of Nakagami. 1:30.02.6. He just shot up 11 places. Brilliant stuff there. Here comes Bagnaia across the line, and he does go through. It's P6 for Pepe Bagnaia. 1:33.24. 3/10 off the pace of Johan Zarco, but Binder's looking quicker. Miller is looking quicker as Binder goes 3rd. Marini's into the pit. No, that's Martin. Jorge Martin is into the pit lane as well, so he is giving up on this session. Then he will not set a further time. Miller comes across the line. Will he go top of the board? Yes, he does. 1:29.921. He's a 10th clear. The first man this weekend into the 1:29s here in MotoGP. Aleix Espargaro goes 6th. That puts Bagnaia 8th, with more riders setting faster times, including Alex Rins, who set a fastest sector 1. This is the crunch point in the practice sessions. This is what we all were fearing we could see. And they are bashing. He's 12th at the moment, doesn't improve. 4/10 down in the last sector. So he will not kick out Bagnaia. Mir and Rins are the 2 Suzukis. Won't put him on this. Marc Marquez is 11th at the moment and looking quick. So Bagnaia might drop down to a worse 10th. He's got to keep up there. What's his current lap times? Bagnaia he's in the last sector. He's going to go for another lap then. Bagnaia will go for another lap time. Marc Marquez coming outside now. SHG says, wait, Mir with Repsol Honda, so Suzuki already gone? No, it's the graphics having a bit of it's the graphics changing for some reason. Mir's still with Suzuki. The graphics have prepped ready for the test on Tuesday next week, and I don't know why. It's really bizarre. Checker flag is out then for qualifying. Binder's qualified into the top 2 as well. He's gone 3rd, so Q2's going through. Paul Espargaro 17th. Gardner and Crutchlow 19th and 20th. Marc Marquez though might just spoil Suzuki, and Bagnaia stay across the line. Marquez goes 6th. Rins is out of qualifying. Mir is on the cusp. Bagnaia is on the cusp as well. So it can all change still. Vinales 15th. Doesn't improve. Aleix Espargaro stays 7th. Vinales stays 15th. Here comes Rins. Now, Rins might get a spare here for Bagnaia because he's 4 tenths down, so Rins might not improve the way we think he will. Coming across the line then, Alex Rins in the Suzuki on their last weekend in MotoGP. He stays alive, he'll have to go for qualifying one. So will Bastianini. Miguel Oliveira 7 tenths down. Bagnaia's a 10th down. Might improve somewhere along the line to get up from P9. But it might just be a stay of execution from qualifying one. But still, this is a tricky weekend for Bagnaia. He's going to be world champion on Sunday. 2 points is all he needs. But can he do it? He can't even do that. He needs to be more than 24k. He cannot let it go to a tie break as well because Quartararo's got more wins than Bagnaia this year. So Quartararo will win the title. Especially if he wins the race like he has to. The tie break will get knocked out. Bagnaia across the line, 2 tenths down, nearly 3 tenths down, stays in 9th. And with that, we're waiting on Marco Bezzecchi, who can't do it because he crashed out. Well, Bezzecchi's actually still out there. No, he has crashed out in the 2nd sector. Fernandez crashed out in the 3rd sector. That's it, all done. All done. So the top 10 automatically qualified into qualifying 2 is Jack Miller, Johan Zarco, Brad Binder, Luca Marini, Fabio Quartararo, Marc Marquez, Aleix Espargaro, Jorge Martin, Perfect Bagnaia, and Joan Mir. And guys, what we're watching here, Quartararo.
Credit to Quartararo again. He's looked good, hasn't he? Just a little bit of a moment there through turn 6.
Little front bobble in the middle of turn 6, but good reactions, keeps it on 2 wheels. So yeah, he'd be confident with the performance. Top 5 after FP3 combined.
I'm impressed by his weekend, Fabio. This is someone who's putting all his chips on the table.
Was that 1 million preload? Emlav.
Looked that way, didn't it? Yeah.
Looked like that. Yeah.
1 million.
One more million preload, please. He was planning on braking late there.
And no fuel, but no. Sounds like it's still running, but he's been pushed along here by Johan Zarco.
Yeah, he'll get more abuse on social media for that, Johan. After the abuse he got after Mandalika.
I think we missed out on it, but in France you were saying it was pretty heavy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it was harsh, to be honest.
No, it was harsh because
those conditions at that stage of a race.
Very tough one, and also Pecco was the fastest man on track at the end of the race. He upped his game then. So yeah, for Johan there, he wasn't. I think it was way too much. But yeah, he did get a lot of grief with the French. Obviously, the French looking at Fabio Quartararo, wanting Fabio Quartararo. That's it. They're relieved now.
Yeah, well,
wasn't like that
they were obviously running that bike as lean as anything, weren't they?
His girlfriend looked a little bit stressed.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit stressed as well. Okay, then, everybody, let's go through the times from free practice 3. We'll start with the combined times. As we've already said, the top 10 automatically qualifying to Q2 are on your screen. Jack Miller, Johan Zarco, Brad Binder, Luca Marini, Fabio Quartararo, Marc Marquez, Aleix Espargaro, Jorge Martin, Pepe Bagnaia, and Joan Mir, the top 10. A 1:29.921 as well, the fastest time of the weekend for Jack Miller as well. Having to go through qualifying 1 though, Alex Rins, Enea Bastianini, Miguel Oliveira, Franco Morbidelli, Maverick Vinales, Alex Marquez, Pol Espargaro, Marco Bezzecchi, Remy Gardner, Takiki Nakagami, Fabio Di Giannantonio, Cal Crutchlow, Raul Fernandez, and Darren Binder. They all have to go through qualifying number 1. In terms of the current session, so these are everybody then who topped this session alone. It was Jack Miller, so the top 8 stay exactly the same. Then it's Rins 9th, Bastianini round out the top 10, Morbidelli 11th, Oliveira 12th, Martin 13th, Marini 14th. They automatically qualified to Q2, but this is the current session. FP3, then it was Vinales, Alex Marquez, Pol Espargaro, Gardner, Nakagami, Di Giannantonio, Crutchlow, Bezzecchi, Darren Binder, Raul Fernandez last on the board as well. But it's the combined session that we all take a look at. Great job to see Bastianini also having to go through Q1, because that's going to be a very exciting time for Ducati, knowing that they're going to have at least some people behind Bagnaia to help him move forward. They've got Ducatis in front of him and they've got Ducatis behind him. It's going to be very impressive stuff. Okay, that's us about done then for practice 3 as well. A reminder to you all that we will be back as well for free practice 4. That is at 12:20 GMT Qualifying is underway from 1:05 p.m. GMT as well. We'll be doing their practice 4 and qualifying are back to back with each other with a gap of 10 minutes. So what we'll do is after practice 4 we'll have a break and then immediately launch into our qualifying show as well. Tomorrow morning warm up as well, and then we've got the race as well at 12:15 with highlights of qualifying, and then the main race itself as well with all the build up. The decider weekend. Getting a bit more exciting, isn't it? Bagnaia pulled back the advantage. Thanks for your company. We'll see you for free practice 4 and qualifying later on. Bye for now.